Hi everyone, it's Claire Jarvis here at Restore Fitness Therapies, and in this video I want to talk to you about why Pilates is such a great form of exercise and recovery for people who are suffering with a herniated disc. Now, a herniated disc is sometimes called a slip disc or a ruptured disc or a bulging disc, but they're all basically describing the same scenario. And what's happened with a herniated disc is that your spine is obviously made up of lots of little bones, which we call the vertebra, and in between those bones you have a little pad, a little disc of what we call cartilage, which is basically like a shock absorber so that your spine can move without the bones jarring against each other. Now, those discs have a nice, obviously firm surround, but in the centre they're filled with this sort of jelly-like sort of substance here. And now what happens when your disc herniates or ruptures is that that disc itself can start to either slip slightly out of place or what happens is that the jelly-like substance in the middle actually starts to leak out of that disc. Okay, and that's where the pain is coming from. And often what the pain actually is that internal substance which is leaking out starts to irritate a nerve in the surrounding area. So it can be sort of nerve damage that is a lot of the pain that people are experiencing there. Now, this can happen for a variety of reasons. It can just be age related, so just wear and tear on those discs over many, many years. It's also really common for people to rupture or herniate discs because they've tried to lift something or somebody that is too heavy for them, and there are a whole other sort of host of reasons why this can happen as well. Some people it happens in a very specific accident or injury, but actually most commonly it's a combination of over time sort of repetitive strain happening in that particular part of the body. So people who work in very manual jobs or who are doing very manual tasks are particularly at risk of this because of the pressure that they're putting on their backs. But also other things which put people at risk are obesity because of the pressure, the additional weight that's going through the spine, and people who smoke as well are also at risk because of the lack of oxygen that's getting through to different parts of the body because of the smoking. So there are specific things that can make it happen, but there are also risk factors which we can all sort of choose to mitigate because they're basically lifestyle related. Now, a herniated disc can occur anywhere up or down the spine, but they most commonly occur in the lower back. That's where most people will suffer them if they have them at all, generally because that's where the most of our weight is going through in the base of our spine. People who are carrying excess weight tend to carry it again through the middle part of the body. So it's not exclusively in the lower back. People do get them in the neck or the upper back, but most of the cases we see tend to be lower back related. So what can we actually do about this? Well, there are very few cases where people with herniated discs actually require surgery. That really is the very sort of thick end of the wedge there. It's pretty uncommon to need that kind of intervention. For most people, they can get through that initial stage of pain using a combination of heat and sort of ice therapy and also sort of anti-inflammatory drugs to help them manage the pain itself. But to actually get you on the road to recovery and to prevent it from happening again, what needs to happen is a combination of gentle stretching and exercise. And often people think, oh no, because the idea of exercising when they're in pain is not appealing. Now, we're not talking about going off and running and high impact sports, but we are talking about very gentle stretching and very gentle movement. What we want to do is make sure that the vertebra, not only in your spine, but the rest of your body don't start to seize up. We want to make sure that we are strengthening the core muscles. Again, as we've discussed in previous videos, a strong core means your spine is well supported. You're going to be able to move more easily without putting stress and strain on your joints there. And again, having your muscles at the right level of tension to support your body. So really, in the long term, stretching and appropriate exercise is the way to help you to overcome that injury, but also to prevent it from happening again. And if you do think that some of those lifestyle factors like obesity or smoking apply to you, then of course, please do seek the help that you need in those areas. Otherwise, you're going to be fighting this constant battle. You can do as much exercise as you like, but if you still haven't sort of managed your nutrition and maybe smoking, then you're never quite going to get the results that you're after. But this is why Pilates is such a great place for people with herniated discs to start from, because that's absolutely our bread and butter, is helping people to move nice and gently with controlled movement. So it's really, really safe form of exercise for people who have herniated discs and are struggling with pain. Our focus is on improving our posture and strengthening our core, both things which are going to give you that strength and stability and that confidence in your ability to move and do day-to-day tasks without injuring your back there. So Pilates is a fantastic form of low impact, in fact no impact exercise for people with herniated discs. I would always recommend that you get the sign off from your GP first before you do sign up for something, because they may want to do other things for you, and we obviously want to make sure that you're not in that extremely vulnerable category that needs some other kind of intervention. And you also want to be doing your exercise with someone who is specialised in dealing with back pain and knows about herniated discs, because there are some very specific do's and don'ts in the exercises we do, and you want to make sure that you're not being asked to do something by an instructor that wouldn't be appropriate for you. So myself and my team, we have instructing in back pain and help people with these kind of issues all the time, so you can be utterly confident that you are in safe hands with us, and we know which exercises you should be doing, which you shouldn't be doing. We offer one-to-one sessions as well as group work as well. So I would say that if you are struggling with this, if you've had the go ahead to maybe start kind of doing some sort of form of exercise and your GP thinks that's the right way forward for you, then please do feel free to get in touch. We're always happy to have a conversation with people about their specific circumstances, find out what it is they need, and then to help you find the most appropriate way forward. We always offer a free trial as well, so you can come along and give our services a go for free, and then decide if you think it's the right thing for you. So I hope that's been a helpful video today, and I hope that we'll be meeting you very soon.